Hey, Millie, I just wanted to have a little chat with you. Your due date's coming up soon, right? Oh, hi there, Carol. Good evening to you. Oh, yes, the baby's due in about 2 days' time. Ah, okay, I thought so. Wow, it's happening really soon then. Before you have the baby, could you come over and clean my house for me? Wait, what? You want me to clean your house? Do you realize that I'm about to have this baby any day now? Well, apparently you're not supposed to move very much after giving birth to a child. If that's the case, please get over here as soon as possible to clean my house. I want you to do that before you're admitted to the hospital. The help hasn't come by this week to clean up. But it's almost impossible for me to see the floor without bending a lot. This baby could come sooner rather than later. I'm almost at full term. My water could break any day now. Cleaning can be physically demanding, so it would be really uncomfortable for me to do it. What did you just say to me? You think cleaning's physically demanding? Are you kidding me? Are you making excuses? You haven't even given birth yet, and you want to be exempt from this? Don't act so proud. You should be able to do it. You haven't had your child, so you can still work, so get over here and clean my house for me. I'm sorry, Carol, I'm definitely not making excuses for myself, but giving birth's a huge task, so I need all my energy. Things that are really physically draining are tough for me right now. I can hardly bend down at all. I have to ask people to bend and get things for me. I think you'd be putting me in an uncomfortable position if you made me clean your house. It's too difficult in my condition. Hey, it's not that difficult at all. How dare you say that? Stop making all these excuses for yourself. I know you're just trying to get out of doing it. You really are a lazy housewife, and that makes you a failure. If you were a good housewife, you'd be doing the housework every day. You only come around once a week to clean the place because you live so far away from here. You haven't been around here lately, so are you holding back your duties? I'm nearing the end of my pregnancy, Carol. I'm sorry, but it's too difficult for me to do the work when I'm very pregnant and about to give birth. Ah, this is why you're useless as a wife. You use as many excuses as you possibly can to get out of doing hard work. Don't you dare think about slacking off. You need to come over here right now and clean my house. Excuse me? You want me, the very pregnant woman in this conversation, to come over and clean today? Are you serious? But the day's basically over. It's already evening, Carol. There's no way I'm doing anything at this time of night. You'll get over here right now. Are you kidding me? Here we go again. How do you still have the audacity to make excuses? Fine, I want you here bright and early tomorrow morning. No more excuses, Millie. If you forget to come here tomorrow, I'm never going to forgive you. Okay, Carol, I guess I'll come over tomorrow morning. You're not really giving me much choice here.
Hello, Millie? Are you there? I can't believe how rude my wife was being before. She just doesn't know when to quit it sometimes.
Oh, Wayne, hello. I hope your evening's going okay. I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
I know that my wife said that she's gonna make you do the housework tomorrow, but I don't want you to go out of your way to do it. It's not necessary. It's okay if you don't come by tomorrow. She's being quite unreasonable.
Really? Are you sure it's okay, Wayne? If Carol really needs help with the cleaning, I'll try my best to do as much as I can. But I'm just afraid that it might be too difficult for me now with the baby coming soon.
Millie, I think the most important thing you should be thinking about right now is your body and that baby inside you. If you force yourself to do anything and then something bad happens, we can't take back what we do to you. It's really not that long until you have the baby, so you really need to rest. Please take it easy and look after our future grandkid.
Are you absolutely sure that it's okay, though? I literally just told Carol that I was going to come over and help.
Don't worry about her. I'll calm things down over here. My wife does have her good points, sometimes. But when it comes to her attitude towards you, it can be a bit harsh. And she just doesn't take your feelings or circumstances into account. Now, if you need anything else to help you prepare for this baby, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'll help as much as I can.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for your concern. If I need anything, I'll let you know as soon as possible. Thank you for continuing to be so kind to me during this time, Wayne. I really appreciate it, especially with my baby about to be born soon. Millie, what's going on here? What on earth do you think you're up to? You've not contacted me in almost a week. Aren't you supposed to be making dinner for us today? What's happening with that? Huh? Carol, what are you talking about? Do you really think that I would be able to contact you right now? Don't you know what's happening to me? What's that supposed to mean? I wouldn't start confusing me if I were you, because I'll get very angry if you do. It's all because I'm not keeping an eye on you, isn't it? You're not still in the hospital, are you? I want you to discharge yourself from the hospital and start cleaning up this house immediately. Are you kidding me, Carol? I'm not going to do that. Haven't you heard what's going on? Wayne hasn't told you or anything? Don't start with me, Millie. Don't you think I've had enough of your excuses already? Hasn't it already been 2 days since you've given birth to your baby? Haven't you been discharged from the hospital by now? Well, actually, I'm in absolutely no fit condition to be leaving the hospital right now, Carol. But because of the situation that's arisen, I'm going to discharge myself from the hospital. Well, if you're discharged from the hospital, you should be able to get up and do some housework. Where could you possibly be lazing about at? Carol, do you have any idea what's going on right now? Do you know what's happening with this situation? Oh my God, it's so messy and noisy around here. You need to immediately discharge yourself from the hospital and make some food. You need to clean my house, you useless woman. You slack off so much and it annoys me. You think I slack off, Carol, even though I literally just pushed a baby out of me? And I've helped you clean the house a lot. I'm not like that. Do you really think it's okay to just laze around after having a baby? No woman should have the luxury of doing that. Back when I was having children, people started working immediately after giving birth. There were no breaks for us, so why should there be a break for you? They were hard-working women who did everything in their power to take care of their families and work. But what are you, Millie? You're nothing but a useless housewife who lazes around the house and slacks off all day. If you're doing that, I feel so sorry for Shane. Yeah, Shane, I really do feel sorry for him. It must be so easy to pity him if you think so badly about me. So you admit it. You're a terrible wife who slacks off and is super lazy. You know that you can't stay in the hospital forever, Millie. You've already given birth, so stop slacking off and get back to doing some hard work. Your baby's been born, so discharge yourself from the hospital and get back to doing your chores right now. Wow, you've got no idea what's happened, do you? Are you not going to come to your husband's funeral? Huh? What the heck are you even talking about, Millie? Stop messing around with me. I feel so bad for Shane right now. His own mother's blaming me for everything I've done so wrong without even knowing what's going on. How do you not even know what's going on right now? I thought you being a mother, you'd be kept in the loop about things. What the heck are you talking about, Millie? I'm getting really sick of you beating around the bush. I'm trying to ask you if you're coming to Shane's funeral or not. He died in an accident on the day that I was giving birth to our baby. I think you're the only person who doesn't know what happened. I thought it would be strange that his own mother didn't come. Wait, what? What did you just say? What funeral? Are you messing around with me to get back at me or something? At the funeral, all of our relatives gathered together and we were all crying about what happened to Shane. You're the only one that hasn't come and we can't understand why. Where are you right now? You obviously have the audacity to tell me to get myself out of the hospital and make you some food, so I don't understand. Everyone's here at the funeral except for you, Carol. Why are you telling me all this? I'm so confused. Why do I need to attend a funeral? Is this a joke? I told you before, Carol, on the day I was giving birth to my baby, Shane was in an accident and passed away. I can't believe this has happened to us. He'll never get to meet his daughter. His fate was decided for him. It's horrible. Due to these unforeseen circumstances, I was able to leave the hospital earlier than expected and attend his funeral. Now just hang on a minute, Millie. I can't keep up with what you're telling me. Are you saying Shane's dead? How is that possible? Stop saying such crazy things to me when it's not even true. Shane's still in his 30s. He couldn't have died. I don't think someone's age has to do with whether they get in an accident or not. That's not how it works, okay? Wayne has been trying to contact you, but he said that he can't get through to you. Oh, is this why I've been receiving so many calls? My husband's been trying to contact me? Yes, Carol. I don't get it. Why are you ignoring his calls when he's trying to tell you something really urgent? Didn't you realize that something was up before I told you what's happened? Okay, I was aware that he had been trying to contact me. I was out doing something for a while, so I didn't return any of his calls. Look, I don't want anyone to complain about what I'm doing, all right? Huh? Complain? Did you do something that would make people complain? What's going on? Look, it's none of your business, Millie. You need to stop with all the snooping. You need to explain to me what's going on, all right? This is all some kind of sick joke, right? About Shane? He hasn't actually been in an accident, has he? This can't be happening. You're not talking about my Shane, are you? You can't be serious. How is this possible? I don't even want to believe it myself, Carol, but yes, it's true. He was in an accident. He passed away. His funeral procession is happening right now. You're lying to me, right? This can't be real. I don't believe you're at Shane's funeral. This can't be my Shane. My son. What are you going to do about this? What do you even mean by that, Carol? What can I possibly do about this situation? There is nothing that can be done now. It's over. The accident happened at the same time as I gave birth to our baby. I had no idea until afterwards. I've always had the worst luck in the world. How could you do this to me? Why didn't you try to contact me sooner? He's my son. If you had told me sooner, maybe something could have been done. Huh? What are you talking about? Why are you only thinking about yourself here? There is nothing you could have done either. I'm sure Wayne and many more of your relatives have also contacted you about this, but you've ignored every single phone call. How? The only thing you've done so far is send me cruel, sarcastic, and downright rude messages to me saying that I need to clean your house and make you food. You need to be straight with us. Where are you right now? Why aren't you here for Shane? Hey, you've got no right to come at me for this. I'm allowed to be anywhere I want to be. I don't need your permission. I'm a grown woman. But you were the one who said that you were only going out for a little while. Why won't you say where you are? You've been away somewhere overnight, haven't you, Carol? Just be honest with me. What I do in my own time is none of your business, Millie. Stop with this nonsense. You're driving me crazy with your accusations. Well, you're right about that, I suppose. I know it's not any of my business, but when I tell you something terrible has happened to Shane, you deny everything. I assume that you're with another man right now on some fun little vacation somewhere, right? What are you talking about, Millie? What man? Are you insinuating something? Stop making weird comments about me. Well, I'm sorry you think I'm being so rude to you, Carol, but I already know that you're cheating on your husband. You seriously think I'm having an affair? What other kinds of inappropriate things have you been saying about me? There's no way that I'd do that to my husband or family. Isn't it a bit pointless for you to be making up excuses when I already know the truth, Carol? I know about it because Wayne was the one who told me all about it. Did you really think he was that blind to it? Wait, what? You found out all this from my husband? What would he know anyway? Well, Wayne was consulting Shane about it, and then Shane told me all about what you've been doing behind Wayne's back. Even though it's an important time for us to be together as a family, and even after your husband tried to contact you, you still seemed to prioritize your secret relationship and go on a trip with your lover, then show up to Shane's funeral. How could a mother do this? You've got no idea what you're talking about. I'm not having an affair with any man at all. I'm going through a really rough time with Shane passing away, so I don't want to hear all the stories and excuses you've made up to get yourself out of this situation. It's not like I prioritized this trip or anything. I never thought that something like this would happen to Shane, especially at his age. Plus, I don't like using my phone so much while I'm traveling. I need to focus on other things rather than being on my phone. If I were to read the messages, it would be marked as read, and then I'll have no choice but to reply. When I actually notice my phone ringing, I know I have to pick up and start a conversation. But isn't that still saying that you prioritized not being on your phone and ignoring everything people are trying to tell you? You obviously had enough time to send me lots of cruel messages and harass me a bit, but you can't even reply to urgent matters? It makes no sense. I didn't think it was urgent, all right? I thought that they were just wondering where I was, so I didn't look at my phone. I'm on my way back now. I'll come to the funeral. Where is it being held, Millie? You need to tell me immediately so I can figure out how to get there. Well, I don't think you'll be able to enter the facility from now on, so I wouldn't even bother trying, Carol. Excuse me? What did you just say to me? How could you be like this? Don't you realize that Shane is my son? I can't believe he's dead. There's no way that I can see my boy one last time, is there? I have a right to see my son before he's laid to rest. How can I put this? There are consequences to the actions that you've taken, Carol. You blew it. The wise thing for my father-in-law to do now is actually divorce you, right? It's only natural for him to do that. Excuse me, divorce? How dare you? What's that supposed to mean? Cut this crap out, Millie. You've got no right to interfere with my marriage to my husband. Did you forget that I'm your mother-in-law? Don't try and make a fool out of me. I know that you are. I've been trying so hard to get you to like me because I married Shane, but it was no use. I tried everything I could think of. I know that you are. I've been trying so hard to get you to like me because I married Shane, but it was no use. I tried everything I could think of. I'm not even going to bother to even try to understand you as a human being anymore. You've brought this all on yourself. I don't think there's anything I want to do in the future to try and make you like me. It's just too much of a hassle now. How could you act like this towards me? Your own mother-in-law. What's going to happen to my grandchild now? What are you talking about? What do you think's going to happen to your grandchild, Carol? Actually use your brain to think about it. Well, are you going to let me see my grandchild or not? You've got no right to keep the baby away from its grandmother. It's my grandchild, so I'll raise it. Don't you get it? She's my daughter, Carol. I'm going to raise her myself, even if Shane was alive. It doesn't change the fact that you betrayed everyone. You betrayed your husband, your son, and even your new grandchild. I'm sure they would have cut ties with you once they found out everything. You need to forget that me and my daughter exist and move on with your life with your new man. Are you kidding me, Millie? You can't do that to me. You're asking me to forget about this child? You're not going to let me meet her? I don't see any benefit in her meeting you. All you are, Carol, is a liar and a cheater who doesn't care about anyone else by themselves. It's disgusting. A child shouldn't be exposed to anyone like that so early on in their life. Aren't you just a poisonous old hag who is trying to bring me down? What did you just call me? A poisonous old hag? You think I'm that terrible? I can't believe you'd say something like this. Well, there's no one else in this conversation, Carol, so of course I'm talking about you. Wayne has always treated me so well, and you've been just a miserable old woman. You're really the worst person I've ever met in my entire life. You no longer have the right to come to Shane's funeral. He wouldn't want you there anyway. Please, just wait, Millie. You can't just decide this for me. It's not fair. I'm Shane's mother, and no matter what I've done, I have a right to say goodbye to him. You're really going to deprive me of that? You can't even let me see my son one last time? He's gone, and you won't let me into the funeral venue? How could you? Well, Shane's already passed away, Carol. You've got no chance to make it up to him now. You can't hate me for what you've brought on yourself. On the day that Shane's baby was born, you took it on yourself to go on a trip, so don't even think about holding a grudge against me. Millie, come on, don't be like this. I just tried to call my husband, but I can't get through to him. Why is he being like this? I've got no idea. I've got the baby with me, so I'm in a different room resting with her. The funeral is still going on. I feel like this isn't the best time to pick up the phone and talk to you. He's grieving for his son right now. Well, there's still time for me to talk to him. There can't be that many funeral homes in this town, so I'm leaving now to make it to the funeral. I still have a chance to say goodbye to my son. I should be able to do that. Don't even think about trying to come to the funeral. Please don't come here. And why not? You've got no reason to dictate such orders to me. I'm older than you, and I'm the one who's lost their son. And I'm the one who's lost their husband, and my child has lost her father. Besides, I'm not dictating anything to you. Please consider Wayne's feelings in all of this and what Shane would have felt seeing you. Do you want to be around all the relatives and cause chaos with them on Shane's last day on Earth? The funeral is not going to turn into shambles, Millie. I'm just doing the last thing I can do as a mother, and that is to say goodbye to Shane. There is nothing more you can do, Carol. He's gone. You're not welcome here after what you've done. Think about how you're going to make Wayne feel if you come here and upset everyone. You can't just walk in like everything's normal, can you? I think it would be better if we all just talked later once everything has calmed down a bit. I've already thought about it, and I've got rights as well. I want to see my son and say goodbye. I'm on my way to the funeral right now. Don't even think about trying to stop me. And I advised you to not come anywhere near here. Fine. Don't listen to me then. You never did anyways. How could you do this to me? Why didn't you let me in? Don't you think my relatives will have something to say about this? My husband died on the same day that my daughter was born, Carol. Don't you understand how sad the bereaved family is? You'll ruin their last moments with Shane. But I'm allowed to grieve for him as well, you know. I'm a bereaved family member too. I'm his mother, for goodness sake. Even though you continued to have an affair behind your husband's back, you've disrespected the family on a day like this? Besides, Shane was trying to get in contact with you when he died. He was on his way to look for you when he had his accident. Huh? What are you talking about? He went out looking for me? Why would he do that for? I told him that I was in labor and that I was about to give birth to our baby. He hadn't heard from you, so he tried to go and check on you to see what you were up to. He was on his way to find you when he got into an accident because you wouldn't pick up your phone. He left me and got killed. There is no way I can't blame you for what happened to Shane. I can never forgive you for your incompetence and your ignorance, and now I have no husband. Now wait just a minute there, Millie. You can't just jump to conclusions like that. I had no idea that he was coming to look for me. I'm sure I got a message that you'd gone into labor. I would have had my phone with me. I was already leaving the house, but I don't remember. I guess I didn't pay a lot of attention to all the messages and calls I was getting. Well, Wayne was at work and they wouldn't let him leave, so your son went to find you instead. This is the result of your terrible behavior towards your family. I didn't mean for this to happen. What happened to Shane was a pure and honest accident. I didn't do anything to drive him to search for me. Millie, please, I'm really sorry for all of this. I didn't really mean for things to turn out this way. From now on, I'll raise your daughter in a loving and caring environment, just like I did with Shane. Please forgive me for everything I've done. I'm just going to reject everything you've just said to me. I really don't care about what you or what happens to you anymore, Carol. Wait, what? What's that supposed to mean? I don't understand. But I'm your mother-in-law. I said I was sorry. I'm never going to be able to forgive you for this. My baby has no father. She'll never know what he was like, and it's all your stupid fault. You cared more about your own trip away and your secret boyfriend than you did about your family and your newborn grandchild. You absolutely disgust me. I never want to see your face around here ever again. Don't contact me ever again, Carol. But you can't just do something like this to me. We're family, and family sticks together, right? I wasn't that bad of a mother-in-law, was I? You never thought of me as family to begin with, Carol. Did you really think I'd change my tune about you if you apologized? Absolutely not. I've got no intention being a part of your family. And with that, I'll say goodbye to you now, Carol. I don't think you've got a family to go to anymore, do you? What a shame.
Well, it looks like the hardest part of today is over. Unfortunately, I can no longer live with my wife anymore after what she's doing to me and to her family. Millie, are you okay with dealing with things on your own? I know Shane's passing is going to leave a huge gap in your heart for a while.
Hi, Wayne. I think I'll be okay now that Carol is more or less out of the picture. The loss of Shane is going to hurt for a long time, but I'm really glad I still have my daughter. I have to be strong for my baby from now on. As a single mother, it's going to be tough, but I'll make sure my baby knows everything about her father.
I understand that. You let me know if there's anything I can do for you, okay? I still want to support you as much as I can. Is that alright?
Support? What kind of support do you mean?
I know that you and Shane were very close and built a really great relationship. I want that to continue in the form of me being a supportive grandfather to your baby. I want to be involved with her life and be a good male role model for her. If that's okay with you.
Of course, Wayne. That's more than okay with me. I think my daughter will be so happy to have her granddad around. I can't forgive Carol for what she's done to you and me, but I would very much like it if you stayed in my daughter's life.
That would be great. If there's anything you need, please let me know, and I'll support you. Let's support each other as a family, no matter how small it is now.
Thank you so much, Wayne. It means a lot to me. I'll do my best to make my daughter's life happy and bright, even without Shane around. Please help me out with my daughter and be the best grandfather you can be. With time, Millie started to overcome her sadness of losing Shane after her baby was born. Apparently, she was very determined to raise her daughter well and give her a bright future. Her father-in-law also vowed to take care of the both of them as much as he possibly could. It sounds like he's an excellent and supportive grandfather. By the way, it seems like Carol has been kicked out of the family home and is now living on the streets. No one knows where she's gone and if she'll try to contact them again. She has to live with the life she's faced now.
Hey, Melissa. When are you finally gonna move out of the house? Don't you know that this house belongs to my husband's family? It's high time that you just left.
Wait, what? Oh, what do you mean? This isn't your husband's family's house, it's my family's house. And I don't have any plans to move out anytime soon, so I'm really not quite sure what you mean by that.
You really can be such a pain to deal with. Do you know that? Just how long are you going to make us all live together, huh? Don't you realize that it's high time you move out so that Brian and our son and I can all enjoy this house without you? Why do you always have to be such a burden on everyone and get in the way of what they want, huh?
Charlotte, are you serious? What makes you think that you can treat me this way after what I did for your son? Are you really forgetting that I paid the $40,000 for the surgery that he had? You came to me begging for help because you said that you two wouldn't be able to afford it at all, remember?
And so what? What is the point you're even trying to make with that, huh? You think that just because you helped us pay for some measly surgery that it makes you a saint or something like that? You think it means that we can never ask anything of you ever again? Or that you can boss us around just because of that?
Of course I don't think that. Charlotte, I really don't understand what's gotten into you. I mean, is this even really Charlotte? I don't think that I've ever seen you talk or write to me with this kind of tone.
You should know that the reason I held back and didn't talk to you this way earlier was exactly because you did pay for little Tommy's surgery. But now that all of that is over and done with, I really just don't have any use for you at all. So why don't you just pack your bags and get out?
I really have no idea what you're talking about at all. What does that have to do with the other at all? Are you just saying that you've been letting me live here because I had paid for your son's surgery before? You know that's not how this works, right?
Of course it's how it works. I consider that surgery you paid for as you paying rent to us. And now that you haven't paid any rent in a while, I just don't see the point in us living together anymore.
And that's really how you feel about this whole living situation that we have? Here I thought that you were such a kind and understanding person. But I guess you were just hiding this side of yourself from me.
Well, I really didn't have much choice, did I? I knew that I needed to treat you kindly since you were paying for the surgery and all. But once I heard that Brian's family had a huge house, I thought we all might be able to move in there and enjoy being closer to his family. Unfortunately, it was only after we decided to move into there that I realized that you were also living here. You have no idea how disappointing that was.
I'm sorry you were disappointed, but I was living here first, so it's not like I was trying to let you down with my presence.
And of course, it's not that I blame you for wanting to stay here. We just thought that you would have gone and found someone to get married to so that you could have moved out by now. But I thought that once we moved in, you would think more seriously about moving out. And that was already a long time ago, and you were still living here.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. This house has a lot of sentimental value to my family. And I have so many memories from here as well. Not just me, but all my brothers as well. So I can't just pack up my bags and leave this place like it was never mine.
No, don't you realize that you're keeping other people waiting with your selfishness? Don't you think you've been squatting here long enough already? I bet if you just got up and moved out of the house, you would lose all those silly little feelings of yours. Besides, now that you've paid for Tommy's surgery, I don't see why you think you should get to stay in this house any longer.
Charlotte, have you not been reading these texts? I am trying to tell you that this house belongs to my family. That's why I'm living here, and that's why I'm going to continue to live here.
You really just don't know anything at all, do you? Don't you know that houses always go to the eldest child? That means that this house didn't actually go to you, it went to your brother Brian, didn't it? So why don't you go out and find someone to marry you so that you can finally just leave us alone?
Well, have you talked to my brother about this? What does he have to say about you trying to kick me out of the house like this?
Oh, don't you worry about Brian. He completely agrees with what I'm doing here. But of course he is. After all, you're squatting on his birthright. And we've been very patient with you, letting you stay here as long as we have, don't you think?
Look, I'm not trying to say that this house won't ultimately end up going to Brian, but I'm just saying that you need to be a little more patient. These things need more time to unfold and happen.
You may have your pace, but I have my pace, and it's a lot faster than yours. Now why can't you just move out already?
Actually, I have something that I've been wanting to talk to you for a while now. You've been going in and out of my room without asking me, haven't you?
Going into your room? What are you talking about? I practically own this house, so I'll go into whichever room I please, thank you very much. And just what's wrong with me going into your room? Is there something you're trying to hide? If you don't like me doing it, then maybe you should just move out.
Charlotte, please! We've talked about this before, and I just don't want you snooping around my room if there's no need for you to be in there. Besides, I have a lot of important things that my parents left me in there. I would just appreciate as few people as possible passing through there, if that's all right.
Like I said, if you don't like me going into your room, then how about you pack up your bags and move out? Because otherwise, we're just going to have this same conversation over and over again.
Well, I suppose it really is starting to seem that way, isn't it? Why do you have to be like this?
If you don't like it, Melissa, you know exactly what you can do to solve this issue. But don't pretend like you can just squat here forever because you paid for one lousy surgery.
I'm going to have to chat with my brother about this. I'll need some time to think, okay? Hey, Brian, are you there? I kind of needed to talk to you a little bit about Charlotte. Is now a good time to have this chat?
Oh, hey there, sis. You wanted to talk to me about my wife? Well, sure, I guess I have time. What's on your mind?
Well, the thing is that Charlotte has been demanding that I move out of the family house. Not only that, but she said that you agreed with her that I should leave. Am I really causing that much trouble being at home?
Wait, what? Melissa, come on. You know that I would never ask you to move out. It's like you said. This is our family house, and you're as entitled to it as I am. I would never, ever try and kick you out of there.
Oh, thank goodness. I knew that didn't sound like you at all. I just knew it. But I guess that means that Charlotte was just lying to me about what you said to try and make me believe her.
You know, I haven't told many people about this, but something really has changed in that woman lately. She just doesn't seem to know how to act decent around people anymore. She's just gotten herself so worked up about this house, saying that we're the only ones who should get to use it. And I've tried to explain to her that this is the house where you and I grew up in and that we both have a lot of precious memories here, but she just doesn't want to hear any of it.
I see. To be honest, I didn't want to say anything either, but I could kind of sense a tension growing between the two of you. It's like you always have something to say, but I can see you holding yourself back and letting Charlotte speak her mind. So I guess I was just a bit surprised when she started talking to me about all of this too.
So I guess she was pretty forceful in asking you to move out then?
She certainly didn't hold back on the insults or low blows, I'll say that much. And she even is acting like it was no big deal about Tommy's surgery. She just said that was how I paid rent to keep living with her. That one really blew my mind. I mean, how could you act like that towards someone?
You mean she wasn't being grateful at all for what you did for our son?
Grateful is certainly not the word that I would use to describe how Charlotte was acting towards me. She just acted as if it was a given that I should have paid for the surgery, but not that she should let me keep living in my own damn house. And when she said that you agreed with her, well, that's when I knew that I had to talk to you about this.
I see. Well, I really am so sorry that Chara's been acting that way towards you. I heard her complaining about you, asking her not to go in your room, too. I guess she said that you caught her taking things from there before, and here I thought that you were actually going to get along while living here.
Wait, what? She took things out of my room! When did this happen? Do you remember what she took?
I thought she had taken some bags and makeup and stuff like that, but she said that you lent her some of those too.
What? I haven't lent her anything at all. And if she's taking things like that, then she could actually be taking some of Mom's things. You know that I don't really care about handbags or makeup or stuff like that, so what I have in my room of that is all Mom's stuff. You remember how much she spent on nice things like that, right?
But she told me that you lent them to her. I just don't really know what to think now. I really just wish that this wasn't happening, though.
Well, this is exactly why I was telling her to stay out of my room to begin with. I was worried something like this might happen.
So then, you really think that she's orchestrating this big lie or something like that? Telling you one thing and then telling me something else?
At this point, I really don't know what else to believe but that. How could it be anything else?
Well, look, I'm certainly not trying to make excuses for her, but you might want to know that when she was little, her dad actually robbed his own house before running away. It basically meant that her mom had to raise Charlotte with virtually no savings or assets to speak of.
Oh, I see. Well, I had no idea about any of that, but I guess I would have just thought she might empathize with us a bit more. I still just can't understand why she would want to kick me out of the house I've been living in for all this time.
I know. I really just don't know where she gets some of these ideas from sometimes. I really did hope that moving in here would help her make friends and settle in, but...
No, I know what you mean. I also hoped that you guys living here would bring us all closer together. I think maybe there might have been a few times that I ignored red flags from Charlotte, hoping that it would all work itself out. But I guess maybe we should have been more proactive at doing things together instead of hoping it would all work out.
I think you might be right about that. But let me try and talk to her. I mean, I'm not sure she realized just quite how much you've actually done for her son.
Well, okay, I just don't want to be the reason why you two get into a fight. Charlotte? Did you come into my room again? I thought I told you to stop doing that without my permission. And did you take stuff from here too? I notice so many things missing from where they should be. Why don't you ever listen to me when I tell you not to come into my room without asking me first?
You know what? I have had just about enough out of you. Do you think that I don't know what's going on? Do you really think that I don't know that you're just after the money that's in this house? That's a real reason why I can't stand the thought of living with you.
Charlotte, I just want to know why you think you have a right to go into my room without my permission. What makes you think you can do that and take things out of there as well?
I can do that because I need to collect rent from you somehow. Tommy is going to need another surgery and I don't have the money for it. So if you thought that you were going to get to live here free forever, then you're dead wrong.
But I already contribute $1,000 a month to the house and expenses and stuff. Besides, I don't see why I should have to pay rent to live in the house that belongs to my family. After all, the mortgage is already paid off. So why can't I just keep paying $1,000 a month like I have been? Why are you so determined to try and kick me out of my own home? I just can't understand that.
You have no idea just how long I've been holding back for the sake of my son. That's why I've been so stressed out about everything lately. Not only that, but you know that I only have a part-time job that barely pays me anything. Just why do you think $1,000 a month is enough for me?
I don't know what you mean by that. I don't pay $1,000 a month so that you can go out and have fun. I'm putting that towards the house so that we can eat and pay the utilities and things like that. And just why are you wanting more to go out when your own son is in the hospital again?
Oh, shut up! You're not my mother and you're not Tommy's mother. How dare you try and tell me how I should live my life or raise my son? I am sick of having you around here. I want you to pack up your bags and I want you out of here right now.
Well, fine then. If that's really what you want, then I'll leave. But you'll regret this. Good luck with the 3 other surgeries Tommy is going to need.
What in the world are you talking about? There's no 3 surgeries. My little Tommy is all done with those and is healthy as a horse.
You don't actually think that's true, do you? Don't you know anything about your son's condition at all? The first surgery that I paid for was only the first of a 4-part sequence. Tommy still has 3 more surgeries to go. The doctor said that his disease was advancing and that the process involved repeated surgeries.
Wait, what? But, I mean, you're telling me my son is going to need 3 more surgeries just to have a chance at surviving?
That's right. But this is a good thing. The doctors are very optimistic about this treatment plan. But I guess you'd rather I just put more money in the house so that you can spend it on yourself, right?
Oh, I see. Why didn't you tell me this from the very start?
Well, we are talking about it now. And when I get back home, you, my brother, and I are all going to talk about this in person. Your son still needs surgeries, and this isn't something that's going to be settled over text.
Well, great, then. Let's just all meet at home and we can talk about how much money we'll need from you to get through this.
You really are so obvious. Do you even realize that? Do you ever get tired of using your son to try and squeeze money and pity and favors out of people? Even when it came to you stealing from my room, you used your son's medical bills as an excuse for what you were doing.
That isn't true at all. You really have no idea what you're talking about, Melissa.
Well, I just want you to know that if I move out of this house, I'm not going to pay for another one of Tommy's surgeries. You and Brian are just going to have to figure something out on your own. But if it's really what you want, then I'll pack up my things and I'll move out of the house like you want.
Now hold on just a second. Can't you pick up on a joke when someone tells you one? Of course you can stay in the house. We'd be more than happy to let you stay. You and I can be friends again and everything.
Wow. I really don't know whether or not I should be shocked or just disappointed at your change in tone. But if you think that we're going to be friends after you said what you said to me, after you stole my mom's heirlooms from my room, you should just know that I'm not going to forgive you for what you've done.
Your mom's heirlooms? What are you talking about?
I mean all the bags and makeup and things like that you've stolen from my room when you've gone in there. Those weren't mine. They were things that my mom left behind after she passed away. You took them out of my room and used them like you would any other accessory or product.
Oh, wait. Those were your mom's? I had no idea about that. But I hardly use them at all. I promise that the bags only have a little bit of wear and tear. But if it's really that big of a deal, I'll return them all.
I can't believe that you would take what's not yours and not even offer to repair what you damaged!
I'm sorry, I really just thought I was borrowing them. I didn't know they belonged to your mom.
You had no right to borrow them in the first place. I already asked you to stop using them, didn't I?
I know, but I never saw you using them, and I thought it was such a waste to leave them like that.
You realize that you still haven't even apologized for what you've done yet, right?
Okay. You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have acted the way I did, and this house belongs to you, okay? So please don't leave us.
I still don't think that you're ready to act like the mother that you ought to be to Tommy.
How can you say that? What does that even mean?
I mean, here you are, acting like you need money for his surgery, but you've been stealing and selling all just to get a little extra spending money for yourself. Not only that, but I overheard you on the phone one day talking to someone who sounded like another man. You were bragging all about the wonderful things that were in the house that you can sell. I have to say that I was really surprised when I first heard that, though. Then I realized that it wasn't that you didn't have enough money for Tommy's surgery. You were just hiding the money you did have from my brother. Well, now we've caught you and there's nowhere for you to go. I'll tell my brother all about this and he'll know how to deal with you. In the end, I presented my brother with the proof I had of Charlotte's theft. I even hired a PI to look into who the man could be. The detective found proof that Charlotte was having an affair with this man, and that led to Brian asking for a divorce. As part of the divorce proceedings, the court ordered Charlotte to pay for all of Tommy's remaining surgeries while Brian was given full custody. Brian apologized for all that he had put me through with Charlotte, but I was just glad that Tommy was going to be okay. I have no idea where Charlotte went after that. And as long as she's keeping up with her payments, I really don't care. Meanwhile, it took some time for Brian to begin to put himself out there in the dating world as a single father. But eventually he met a new woman he proposed to. Luckily, Brian's new fiancée was much more independent and showed no interest in wanting to live in the same house. And that suits me just fine. It suits me even better that we're able to get along and that never once have I had to ask her not to go into my room when her and Brian have come over to visit.
Excuse me, is anybody there? Is this Robbie's wife's phone number? Huh? Robbie? Are you Melissa? I was wondering if you could help me out. I really want you to hurry up and divorce Robbie. I'm tired of waiting. What are you talking about? I don't even know who you are. I'm Robbie's girlfriend, soon-to-be bride. As soon as you hurry up and divorce him, we can't get married yet because you're still in the way. Robbie says that we can't get married yet because he's stuck with an old woman like you, even though he's always saying that he's already sick and tired of you because you're so old. He really loves me, so I think we deserve to be together, but because of you, we can't. Don't you feel even a little sorry for getting in our way? If you do, then I'd be really, really grateful if you would just disappear. And to be honest, I pity you for having to stay with a husband that doesn't even love you anymore. So it's really for your own sake, too. It'll be better for you and for us if you just get the divorce over and done with. Trust me. That's a rude way to introduce yourself. By Robbie, do you mean my husband Robert? He hates being called by a nickname. Yeah, but he loves it when I call him Robbie. It just shows you how differently he feels about me. Anyway, I need you to hurry up and divorce him. I want to marry Robbie as soon as possible so that I can live in your beautiful mansion. I can't live there unless I'm married to Robbie, and I can't marry him until you divorce him. So, would you get out of my way already? I've been waiting for months for Robbie to ask you for a divorce, and he's been telling me that he's been looking for the right timing, but I'm already sick of waiting. I want to live in that house as soon as possible, so can you make things easier for all of us and just leave? Pretty please? Can you tell me what your name is first? My name is Amelia. It would be great to get to know you, but unfortunately, I'm not interested. I'm only interested in your house and your husband. Why do you need to know my name? Listen, Amelia, can we talk first? I get the feeling from the way you talk that you're pretty young. Can I ask how old you are? Oh, I know because I am young. Much, much younger than you. But don't worry, I'm not a minor. I've just turned 20 this year. What? You're 20 years old? I'm young, right? You must be so jealous. Don't you think it would be amazing if I could live in a house as great as yours at this age? I wouldn't have to think about paying any loans or stuff like that. Plus, Robbie's gonna be the next CEO at his company, right? I'll never have to work a day in my life. He'll take care of me and we'll live happily ever after. I'll be living the dream like a celebrity once I marry Robbie. Do you even know how old Robbie is? Are you sure you want to spend the rest of your life with a man that could be your father? I know how old he is. He's 43, right? He's a little older, but that's no problem. I'm going to be able to live easy for the rest of my life. It's so worth it. I want to brag to all my friends about it, so could you chop with the divorce? Oh, it's just one shock after another. Oh, I can't believe he was actually cheating on me. But it's hilarious that you assume that it's gonna go that well. What are you talking about? What's so hilarious? Don't worry. You'll find out later. But I'm warning you. You're going to regret marrying him. I feel bad for you. You've been tricked by a man twice your age. You're still so young. I'm sure you could find someone much better for you, you know? Trust me, it might be better for you to give up on Robbie before it's too late. Before you end up biting off more than you can chew. Thank you, but I'm really mature for my age, so I think I can handle your husband pretty well. And I know what I want. I want to hurry up and get married so that I don't have to work. You get me on that point, right? That's the main reason why anyone gets married, really. No. I think there are a lot of other more important reasons, like love. But why should I care about why you want to marry Robbie? More importantly, you should think this through a bit more carefully. This is your life we're talking about. How about your parents? What do they think about this? Have you told them that you're planning on marrying a man that you've been having an affair with? Oh my god! You are so much more annoying than Robbie told me! Just because you're older than me doesn't mean you can treat me like a child, you know? Who cares about what my parents think? This is my life. I'll do whatever I want and get whatever I want, no matter what it takes. So I'm telling you nicely. Will you please get out of my future husband's house, you boring old woman? It's simple, really. You just have to get some divorce papers and sign on the dotted line. So, would you hurry it up, or do you need someone to help you down the stairs? All right, I'll think about the divorce. After finding out that he's been cheating on me and saying all these things behind my back, I don't feel like I can live with him anymore anyway. But in order to get the divorce over and done with quickly, I'll need your cooperation for some things. If you really want to marry him as soon as possible, I suggest you help me out. What? It sounds like a pain, but fine. What do you want me to do? Can you send me all the things I list in the message below? Did you forget that it's my birthday today? I asked you this morning if you could come home earlier, and you said you would, remember? Where are you? I told you that I had some things I wanted to tell you over dinner. I get that you had to work overtime a lot these last few months, but can't you at least make it home for my birthday?
Oh, it was your birthday? I completely forgot. To be honest, I don't even care anymore. I don't have anything to say to you. But I do have a surprise for you. It's a present for your 45th birthday.
What? Really? I told you you didn't have to get me anything. I thought I made it clear that I didn't want anything from you.
That's really no problem. It didn't cost me anything. You'll really be surprised when you hear what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing your reaction. For your birthday, I'm going to be giving you back your maiden name.
What's that supposed to mean?
I've already filed the divorce papers and we're officially divorced. In other words, your present is your maiden name. Now, this may be really sudden, but I'm planning on getting remarried to this girl that I've fallen in love with. She's much younger and prettier than you, so I'm going to be a very happy man. I don't need you anymore, so I'm changing you out for a newer model. Which means that you'll have to leave my house. You're in the way of me and my new wife's happy life, so get out.
Seriously? You've already given in the divorce papers on my birthday? I have to praise you for how bold you are. I can't believe you'd actually file the papers without telling me.
What's so hard to believe? You can't think that you actually stand any chance of winning against a younger, better-looking girl. Of course I'd want to leave you after you got this old. I can't even see you as a woman anymore. You look nothing like you used to. Now you're 45 years old. You don't even count as a woman. You don't have any right to call yourself a woman anymore. Women are only women if they're young and beautiful.
Did you know? Humans all age. There is no such thing as eternal youth. People can try and avoid looking older for as long as possible using all sorts of makeup and things nowadays, but you have to embrace the age you've become. I hear that the woman you're planning to marry is still 20, but in 20 years, she'll be 42. She's going to age as well, and I don't even know what she looks like now, but she's not going to look the same, that's for sure. Do you understand that? What are you going to do then? Find another woman that's half your age? But I wonder if any woman that young with any self-respect will want a 60-year-old grandpa that thinks like you do.
Huh? Why do you know how old she is? How do you know about her? This is the first time I've mentioned her to you.
Do you realize you're currently 43 years old? You're already an old man yourself. Aren't you embarrassed to have laid hands on a girl that could be your daughter and tricked her into marrying you?
I haven't tricked her into anything. We're in love, and age doesn't matter when it comes to love. But it was clearly a mistake for me having to marry an older woman like you. Over the years, you've lost all the youth and beauty that you used to have. Such a shame. I used to think that older women were great, but looking back, I was an idiot. There's nothing good about them at all. No matter how you look at it, younger women are much, much better. In every single way.
You're going to regret this if you think that choosing women based on their age and looks is a good idea. If you choose someone for their looks, you'll find out soon enough that they've only chosen you for something equally superficial as well. But it's not like that matters to me at all. It's got nothing to do with me anymore. You'll have to learn your lesson the hard way. I was shocked to hear that you'd filed the divorce papers without telling me, but I guess it doesn't make any difference when and how they're filed. It's not like I wanted us to stay together anyway. But now that it's been made final, you can't come begging me for help when something happens. You'll have to deal with everything by yourself.
Why would I have any problems? I'm going to marry a woman that's 20 years old. Things are going to be much better from now on. I can't take living with an old woman like you anymore. Would you hurry up and just get out? You can go live in a care home for the elderly or something.
You're kicking me out? Really? You can look down on me all you want, but I'm warning you. Things aren't going to work out the way you're expecting them to. Haven't you realized that you're misunderstood about something very important?
What are you talking about? I'm not misunderstood about anything. We're divorced, so I'm taking my home for me and my new wife. If you're at home, then you should just hurry up and get all your things before I get home, or I'll have to throw it all in the trash. Are you trying to buy our time so you can convince me to take you back? Because I'm afraid that is not happening. I'm looking forward to my new life. There's no way I'd want someone like you. You're just gonna embarrass yourself if you start begging, so I guess that you should just give up and accept reality. You lost, now get out!
You're the one that's embarrassing himself. Do you know who this house belongs to? I'm surprised you didn't think about that before you promised your girlfriend that you'd be living here together.
Alright, I understand that this is all really sudden for you, and you're having a hard time accepting that this is happening. You don't want to let go of me because you still love me, but there's no point in trying to get me back. I've already thought all of this through. Personally, I think I'm a genius for coming up with this plan. With the snap of my fingers, you've become the divorced old woman that lost everything she had to a younger woman. And I'm going to be taking everything from you. I'll be living in a mansion with my new young wife, and before long I'll take over as CEO of my company. I have that life that everyone dreams of, but only a few can actually fulfill. Life really is strange, don't you think? To think that it can change so much in just a few hours.
Why are you getting all philosophical? You're not going to get any of that. If anyone's life is going to change for the worse, it's yours.
No, don't be like that, Melissa. I'm sorry that I turned your 45th birthday into the day that you got divorced, but it's really not my fault. That's just how life works. You have to understand anyone would choose a younger woman over a 45-year-old hag if they had the chance. So for the last time, will you please get out of my house?
Fine. If that's what you want, I wish you all the happiness with your new wife.
Finally, I was wondering when you'd give in and accept that you're just not good enough.
I'm glad you seem so delighted. But things aren't going to work out that easily. To be honest, I'm extremely happy that things have worked out in my favor.
I don't understand. Why are you so happy? How is any of this in your favor? You're not working and you don't have any savings of your own. How are you going to make it without me? You've lost everything. You should be a little more worried about what you're gonna do from now on. Or are you still just so shocked that you don't even know what to do? Not like it matters to me. I don't have to bother myself with an old woman like you anymore. I'm gonna go and live a happy life from now on with my beloved new wife.
Yes, I hope you are very happy together, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer. Though, I wonder if she'll be happy to promise that.
Why do you have to say it like that? If you have something to say, then why don't you just come out and say it? There's no need to be sarcastic.
Well, I already asked you earlier, but let me ask you again. Do you know whose name this house is under?
What do you mean?
You seem really excited about being able to divorce me and spend your new marriage living in this house. But do you even know who this house belongs to? You don't, so let me make it easier for you to understand. This house is under my name. So, would you please hurry up and remove your things before I throw them out in the trash?
Hey, wait a minute, your house? What are you talking about? Are you delusional or something? There's no way it could be your house. You don't even have a job. How could you be the owner of this house? It's impossible. Don't you understand something as simple as that? You really must be desperate to do anything to keep a hold of the house since you don't even get work. Well, I've got bad news for you. It's not yours, so get out. Do you understand? Get out!
You can insult me all you like, but it's the truth. It's my house. You're not being serious, are you? I won't let you say that you didn't know that it wasn't my property. Don't you remember just how much you actually owe me and my family? You do know who bought this house, don't you?
Oh crap, I just remembered. It was your dad.
Exactly. You didn't even try to keep up with the monthly payments to my dad, making excuses about how things were tight with money, and I believed you too. But now I know about your girlfriend and all the things you were up to behind my back. I know now that was a lie too. You just weren't bothered to pay my dad back and have been practically living in this lovely house for free. This property was bought for us by my dad. In other words, we're only living here because my dad allowed us to stay in this house. He was kind enough to give you leeway and time to pay him back, but you literally cheated your way out of it. Well, since I'm his daughter, the contract states that the property is in my name, so it's my right to tell you to get out.
Yeah, that may be true, but you don't need this house, do you? Especially not a house this big. It's a waste for you to live here by yourself, and I doubt you'll find anyone who will want to marry an old woman like you, so you really will be living here by yourself until you die. You should give it to me, since I'll be living here with my new wife. We'll put it to good use. I have a right to it too. I've been living here for over 10 years. You should just give it to me.
No, I refuse to let you take my house from me. I'm keeping it.
Why won't you let me have it? I won't ask for anything else. You can think of it as a settlement, yeah.
Why should I have to give it up to you? I have no obligation to give you anything. You're the one that was cheating on me and filed the divorce papers without warning me. You're the one that owes me compensation and should be settling alimony payments. Trust me when I say that I will be taking this to court to make sure I get everything I deserve after all the years I've supported you. I am not at fault at all in this situation, so why should I give you my house after everything you've taken from me? You must be stupid if you think that you're owed anything. Go ahead and ask anyone you know if I'm the one that's being difficult. I'm pretty sure that they'll all agree with me that you're the one that should be handing over anything and everything you have.
So, what, you're seriously going to kick me out of the house?
I'm certainly not gonna let you live here with me anymore. That girlfriend of yours seemed to be more interested in the house and the lifestyle you were promising her rather than you yourself. So I'm looking forward to what will happen when she finds out that you won't be living here after you get married. But I imagine that you won't even have the chance to get your tux on before she runs away. The second you tell her that this house doesn't belong to you, she'll lose all interest and go hunting for her next prey. Too bad for you. I really do pity you.
What did you just say? There's no way that'll happen. In that case, I don't even need the house. Even if we can't live in this mansion, Amelia and I still love each other. We'll be happy no matter where we live. She loves me for who I am, not for what I can give her. Besides, I have money, so I can always just buy another house if that's what Amelia wants. I'll get her a better house, and have an interior designer set up the house exactly the way that she wants it. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll make her happier than giving her a house that's already been lived in by an old woman like you.
Is that so? All right, do your best. I hope everything goes the way you imagine it will, though I highly doubt it.
I don't need you to cheer me on. I can easily make Amelia happy.
Really? Even if you don't have a job? Do you really think you can buy a house without a stable income?
What? What are you talking about? I already have a job, but I have to worry about my salary.
Oh, you do right now. But I imagine that it'll be hard for a 43-year-old man to find a new job in a completely different profession to the one you've been working in up until now. I wonder if you really will be able to get enough income to buy something as expensive and high maintenance as a house. I think that's a bit worrying.
What are you on about? Why would I have to get a new job? I don't plan on resigning from my current position. I'm going to be the next CEO. Why would I resign and give up such a great chance to be at the top of my company?
It looks like you've conveniently forgotten that you got that job in the company thanks to me introducing you to my dad. He managed to get you a position because he owned the company. It wasn't because you passed the interview on your own merit, you know.
What? So what? Well, that doesn't mean that I'm going to lose the job I have now.
No, it means there's no reason to keep you on. You're going to get fired. So how do you plan on buying a house?
What are you talking about? Of course they can't fire me. They need me. They need someone to take over the business. Your dad's already retired and they don't have any other candidates. So I'm going to become the next CEO. Why would they risk running the business ashore just by getting rid of the person who's supposed to be in charge next?
You got this job thanks to your connections. Nothing will change that. Even after he retired, he got you that job. He can still remove you from that position. He was one of the founding members of the company, so he still has more than enough power and influence over the decisions made in the company. It'll be easy for him to get rid of an employee that will, if anything, be the cause of ruining the company's reputation if it's found out that you were having an affair. I've already notified him of everything, including the fact that you were cheating on me, and he's not pleased at all.
You didn't? You told him?
It looks like you're gonna get fired after all, so I suggest you refrain from doing anything irresponsible like buying a house when you don't have enough money to do so.
Stop messing around, Melissa. Am I really going to get fired? They can't actually do that, can they? What's going to happen to me? Your dad can't still have that much influence. It's already been years since he's retired, and the current board wouldn't get rid of me that easily. It was decided when I started working at that company that I would be employed to one day become the CEO when I was ready. They can't just take that away from me.
That was only because you were my husband and happened to have experience in this field of work. But even if you don't become CEO, my little brother's waiting in the wings to take over. And think about it. Why do you think you still haven't become the CEO after all these years of working for the company? It's because they haven't yet decided that you're ready to take over. I guess you got lazy once you thought that you would one day automatically become CEO and haven't been putting any effort into your work. As for me, I've been helping out with managing the real estate my dad's been purchasing so I actually do have my own income. I've been doing what I can to help the family business in my own way. But you're the only one who hasn't been pulling his own weight. And you have the gall to think that this company needs you? Don't make me laugh. My brother's experience in this profession is much less than yours, but he's showing a lot more promise. I'm sure he'll make a great CEO.
What are you talking about? I'm the one that's going to become CEO, not your incompetent little brother. You seriously can't be telling me that I'm going to be kicked out of my own home and my company. Is this all your revenge because I filed the divorce papers without telling you? Because this is going too far. Did you forget that I've been taking care of you this entire time that we've been together? But this is how you repay me? Don't you understand the concept of separating on good terms? Because you've completely wrecked it.
I've been thinking about divorce since before you brought it up to me a few days ago. I know the reason why now, but I had been bothered by how distant you'd been these last few months. I had a feeling that we wouldn't last for any longer, and I wanted us to part as friends. That was until your girlfriend messaged me.
What? Amelia contacted you? When?
The evening you told me you wanted a divorce. It seems she hadn't heard from you that you had already given me the divorce papers and started insisting that I hurry up and let you go. Apparently, she had taken a look at your contacts and took my phone number down when you weren't looking. I had accepted internally that the divorce was because we had grown apart over the years, so I was shocked when I had found that you had been cheating on me, and with a 20-year-old. If I didn't know about Amelia, maybe I would have been much more willing to end this marriage on good terms, but not anymore. I'm going to take what I can from this divorce, because all you've done is take advantage of my dad and I, and then humiliated me by choosing some gold digger over me. There's no going back now.
What do you mean there's no going back?
I mean, you've already filed the divorce papers, so the battle has already begun. And thanks to Amelia's cooperation, I have proof of your affair.
What? You have proof? What did she send you?
Photographs of the two of you together. Definitive evidence of your relationship, which will come in handy when we go to court. She even sent me screenshots of your disgusting conversations online. I don't know if it's because she wanted to prove how much more you love her than you love me, but she sent me everything I asked her for. Strangely, it makes it difficult for me to actually hate her. I just pity how stupidly naive she is. That must be why it was so easy for you to deceive her into thinking that you could give her everything. It's a shame that she is going to waste her precious 20s with a piece of crap like you. She should run away as fast as she possibly can. I did warn her, but all she would talk about was the house and all the brand items she was going to get you to buy her. It was very obvious that the material wealth she'd gained was all she was thinking about.
You're lying. Amelia loves me. You're just jealous because I've found true love. You don't even understand that what we have together is real.
Grow up, Robert. Take a good look at reality. She's only with you because she thinks that you're going to be living in this house and believes that you're going to be CEO. Anyway, I've already warned you, so what you do with that information is up to you. I'll give you your divorce, but I'm going to take what I can in compensation and alimony. I've already hired a lawyer and shown them the proof that I got from Amelia. They say it looks very promising and assure me that we'll have a winning chance in court. That's actually what I wanted to talk about today. But you still haven't come home, so it's fine. You don't have to come back.
Really? I didn't know that. I would have come home sooner if I knew that you wanted to talk about the divorce.
Well, I didn't expect you to file the divorce papers without telling me. But, to be honest, it probably worked out better this way. If you had realized what would happen to the house and your job before you filed them, you probably would have made a fuss and refused to go through with it. You actually saved me a lot of trouble for once. Oh, before I forget, I should probably warn you that if you're thinking about getting a job in the same profession, it's not gonna work. You'll have to start over in a completely different field.
What? You're not even going to give me a chance to find another job?
Thanks to my dad, it'll be impossible for you to pass any interview at any business that has connection to my dad's company.
You can't be serious. You're already taking everything from me in the divorce, and now you're going to ruin my prospects of getting a job? I've been working in this profession for over 15 years, since before I married you. And I spent the last few years working in your dad's company because they needed me. What am I supposed to do from now on?
How should I know? Maybe you should have worked a little harder even after you were promised the position of CEO. And maybe if you weren't so irresponsible with your payments to my dad, and if you hadn't cheated on me, none of this would have ever happened. You're just going to have to start from square one and find a job in a completely different field. Good luck.
Good luck? Don't talk to me as though this has nothing to do with you. This is all your fault. You're the reason why my life is falling apart right now. You can change everything if you just tell my dad to give me my job back.
My fault? So you really believe that? If you do, then it just shows that there's no hope for you. It's all your own responsibility. Even if I didn't find out about you cheating on me, your passive attitude towards work was reason enough for my dad to want you out of his company. But it is true that the affair was the final straw. My dad would have never let you get away with cheating on me. In the end, it was because you couldn't control your girlfriend and stop her from bragging to me. If you really wanted us to divorce on good terms, you should have kept her on a short leash. Or rather, you should have kept yourself on a short leash and not cheated on me in the first place, you dumbass. I don't even want to look at your face, so don't come back here. If you want your stuff, I'll have it all sent to your girlfriend's place. Don't ever show up here again. If you want something, go through my lawyer.
Wait, Melissa, please! Are you really being serious? You're just saying all this to scare me, right? I learned my lesson. I was wrong, it was completely my fault. I'll never do anything to betray you ever again, so please don't kick me out. I still love you after all. The thing I had with Amelia was just a fling. I mean, come on, I was never actually in love with her. Of course I'd never be able to love anyone other than you. Please!
I thought that you said you'd found true love. It's funny how quickly you changed your mind. But too bad. I'm not interested in getting back together just so you can take advantage of me and my dad again. I won't ask you to pay for the house. So please pay up in compensation. I hope you enjoy the rest of your life with your young, pretty little girlfriend. Though I doubt a girl like her will stick around for much longer if you're an old, homeless, and unemployed. After speaking to her father about her husband's affair, and informing him that Robert had forgotten about how he owed them for his job in his home, Melissa's father had Robert removed from his company, and made it known to his associates that he didn't recommend Robert for employment. That made it difficult for Robert to find any jobs in the same profession, and he had nowhere to turn after Melissa changed the locks on their front door. He would really have to start from square one in a field that he was unfamiliar with, and it would probably be a while before he would be earning enough to buy his own house, let alone a house that would please Amelia. Amelia herself was still living at her parents' house, so she was furious when all his stuff was sent to her address. When she found out that she wouldn't be able to move out of her parents and live in a mansion, her lovey-dovey attitude towards Robert changed by 180 degrees, and she began to call him a dirty old man and told him to never call her again. Just like Melissa had anticipated, Robert was thrown away by Amelia in a matter of days, and he really was left with nothing. It seems that the true love he was talking about wasn't so true after all. In the end, he couldn't find another job, and when he went to ask his parents for help, they refused to help him, telling him that he had humiliated them by behaving so selfishly. He couldn't even ask them if he could stay with them, and really did end up becoming homeless. Apparently he's in despair after losing his home, wife, girlfriend, and his job, but he's only got himself to blame, since none of this would have ever happened if he had treated his wife with the respect she was due. Everything that happened to him was pure karma, so let's hope that he can reflect on his actions and do better in the future.